Guys, it's on. This is what we've been waiting for.
And you know what's exciting? If the baby sees its shadow, it's 6 more weeks ahead.
Well, she's in labor now.
But we could be waiting hours.
Yes.
I mean, I'm hearing from people who said their first labor 20 hours. You're
Right.
right. 20 hours.
With 19 hours.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, listen, I got my coffee. We're ready to go. We have got this story covered, okay? This is what happened. Prince William and his wife arrived by car. The Duchess was admitted to the hospital about 1 a.m. our time, Eastern time. A palace spokesperson said things are progressing as normal.
Which is good news. And just moments ago, we heard from granddad-to-be Prince Charles ever so briefly.
Absolutely nothing at the moment.
Okay, what?
He sounds excited.
So effusive.
Right. That was actually over the top within the family.
Exactly. I know.
Yeah.
If you're going to emote like that. Anyway, we've got complete coverage of all of this from the hospital to Buckingham Palace to Kate's hometown. And we want to begin with our Natalie outside the Lindo wing of St. Mary's Hospital. Natalie, good morning to you. It's great to see you. Tell us what the latest is.
Finally, Savannah, good morning to you and David. And finally, some good news to report this morning. That is right. Kate has been at it now for about 6 hours, and she came early in the morning along with Prince William. They were escorted into the back entrance here at St. Mary's Hospital to assure the privacy that they would need. And only then did Kensington Palace, when she was safely inside and being attended to by her doctors, did they then release that press release that you talked about. And meanwhile, now we just have to wait just a little bit longer, but hopefully not much longer.
Early this morning, with William at her side, Kate headed to St. Mary's Hospital from Kensington Palace, a 6-minute drive away. William will attend the birth, and others, Kate's mom and sister Pippa, are expected to be at the hospital too. After the child is born, the Queen will be the first to hear. William will call her personally. Then a signed medical bulletin will be carried from the hospital through the streets of London to Buckingham Palace to announce a child has been born. A 2-mile ride that will be broadcast live around the world from a TV helicopter, a kind of slow royal car chase. And the declaration will be displayed on an easel just behind the palace gates, as it was when William was born. Only then will we be given details, gender, and sometimes eye and hair color. But the couple could take their time choosing a name. A 41-gun salute from London's Green Park, 62 cannon blasts from the Tower of London will mark the arrival of a new royal generation. Finally, the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge will emerge on these very steps with their new baby, just as Charles and Diana did 31 years ago.
Now, from St. Mary's Hospital this morning, they released a statement. Everyone at the Trust is exceptionally proud that this historic moment is happening here. Now, a reminder again, our first indication when the baby is born is we expect to see a royal aide walk out of these doors with the official birth announcement. That birth announcement will then be driven to Buckingham Palace, where it will be displayed on that golden easel. That's in keeping with tradition. And only a few minutes later do we expect Kensington Palace will tweet out all the relevant details, the important information, namely Prince or Princess, and all very excited here as we await that word, hopefully a little bit later on today. David and Savannah, back to you.
All right, Natalie with 1,000 of her closest friends in the media there as well. And Natalie, you mentioned that we're going to get some information, including the gender, whether, of course, the weight of the baby potentially, but we may not get a name for a while, right?
Yeah, we may not get a name. In fact, with Prince Charles and Diana, it took them a week to name Prince William. Harry, they did name right away, so we could be waiting a little bit longer for a name. But of course, I think everybody's most excited to know right now is when's the baby coming finally, and boy or girl. If it's a girl, clearly a historic moment because she would be the first girl in her birthright to be able to assume the throne, of course, decades from now. Savannah?
All right, Natalie, we're actually seeing a live shot of the scene, the throngs around you as everybody's focused on what has to be the most famous door in the world right now. Tell us a little bit about the scene.
Yeah. Well, I got to tell you, and if Tony can pan off a little bit here, this has become very much a tourist attraction. In fact, a lot of Americans here today standing by, awaiting news just as well. All very excited. I think everybody's going to stick it out as long as they can here. We don't know how long labor will go. With Princess Diana, when she had Prince William, it took 10 hours of labor. So let's hope we're not going to be here all that long before we do find out. But you can see the world's media is here. So very much the scene this morning.
All right, Natalie. Well, don't budge 1 inch even. We'll be back to you early and often, okay?
What's another couple of days for Natalie?
I can't budge.
I will see you in a few minutes with your...
I can't even move.